everyone, this is the Undercover Witch again. I actually was just trying to record these readings that I said I was going to do, and I'm kind of frustrated because my camera my phone actually, because I'm recording on my phone, just cut off and my recording did not save. So I'm redoing this, but I also just wanted to include this intro so if in case this happens again, I don't have to keep redoing this part. So I have groups 1, 2, and 3. I also picked a number for each one of these groups. So if you can pick a number that resonates with you and then find your correlating group. So group 1, the number is 691, group 2 is 643, and group 3 is 782. And I'm going to do the readings first. And once I'm done with the readings, I'm going to tell y'all the angel message behind these numbers using Kyle Gray's Angel Numbers book. I'm sorry, I'm turning again. I fidget a lot. It's hard. What else? I think that's it. I'm kind of frustrated because I'm not too far in. I'm just the first one. So I think I'm going to record this, have this in front, and then record the other 3 in sections so I don't get cut off again. Okay, I already have cards laid out because this is where I left off. But of course that video cut out, so we're going to start over, don't worry. So these readings are going to be for the month of October, and it's going to be, for some people, I feel like it's going to be connected to a specific situation, so it may last a little longer than October, but a lot of, the majority of it, I feel like is going to happen in October. So, let's get started. Ragnarok and Loki. Ragnarok, since it's reversed, I feel like this is a situation that's coming to an end that maybe has been put off or it's been breaking off slowly, and now it's kind of like the final finale. But it's an end that wasn't wanted, maybe on your part. And I also felt like this had a lot to do with relationships because of the Loki card, and also because I did get another overall oracle. I did a reading for it on TikTok that the overall energy of October was going to be basically this very masculine energy and dealing with that masculine energy. So that could look like maybe a father returning into your life, or maybe a boss is being too nitpicky about what you're doing. Something that someone masculine that is either taking over your life or affecting you more heavy than they normally would. It could come across as, internal trauma that you've had to deal with that has had masculine energy present. But it also could just be accepting yourself and accepting the masculine energy that you have, because we all have energy and we all have masculine and feminine energy at some levels, or what we deem as masculine and feminine energy. I mean, really, it doesn't really, we just have energy and we're classifying it, right? So those labels can hurt us and help us. Sometimes that we demonize one part of ourselves, and I feel like that's kind of what the Loki card is here for, is there's this masculine energy that we are kind of seeing in a bad light, and it's just prevailing despite the way we see it. And so that idea set of how we see it has to end, and I feel like that's what the Ragnarok's about. So our unhealthy relationship with kind of toxic masculinity, but also our preconceived notions of what regular masculinity is. So the next part is the castle. I kind of was explaining this as the glorified box, right? If you're stuck inside the castle, you're stuck inside the box, you're not really living, out here. And yeah, sure, you have this flower in the box, you'll always have something nice and sweet in the center. You just won't be able to explore all of the different colors out there in the world. And I also feel like for this situation, it's kind of somebody from the outside going in, because we kind of lock up our shadow selves. We kind of block out the light so that nobody can see us. But we also kind of keep it from us so we can't nourish ourselves with that light either. So it's just something that we're not really getting to see it in its full potential. And it has little pearls all around here, which I think is cute. But it's making the box also. It's kind of like we want to seem perfect, but in the inside, like, we're delicate, we're fragile. And then this card was just strength. So this was another indicator to me that this situation isn't something that's wanted. It's going to be a lot to get through. It's going to require a lot of strength. And then this is kind of where I left off. So, innocence. These are cards with angel messages. So this is from the St. Michael's deck. Innocence. To me, since this was reversed, it had a lot to do with maybe this is some trauma that we're dealing with. Maybe it's the taken away of innocence, or an innocence in yourself that you can't really protect anymore. You have to like dig through it. You're on the right path. So you're walking forward. Maybe you're not 100% sure you're going through the right thing right now, but this is saying that you're on the right path. Like, don't worry about it. Don't think that because the tower is crumbling that you're on the wrong path, because you're actually right on track. And then make a commitment is reversed. I feel like this is more of a make a commitment to yourself. Make a commitment to your inner self, to take that inner journey, to take that inner plunge and start working on that shadow self. Start making a better relationship with yourself, and recognizing and understanding how you work as a person. And maybe like take a commitment to yourself. If there is somebody that's kind of just overpowering and masculine and is really digging in your life, like these top cards are saying or referring to, it might just be make a commitment to yourself. Make a commitment to say no to somebody else so that you can say yes to yourself. So these are more of the archetype cards. This one wasn't supposed to be in here, but okay, we'll read it in there anyway because it is here. So these are kind of the people that are the energies you're going to be working with. So the Starborn, the Poet, and the Comic. Now, again, the Poet. This is what I was thinking back to the castle, is the glorified box. To me, this is like, you can make darkness seem beautiful. You can make ugly situations seem poetic. But at the end of the day, like, you have to get rid of that innocence. You have to plunge through it and just realize it. Take it all in for what it is. So if we're talking about traumatic relationships, don't sugarcoat it. Don't excuse it. If we're talking about abuse, if someone's being abusive or you're in an abusive relationship, don't sugarcoat it. Don't make it seem poetic. Don't do the whole we're Joker and Harley and it's this beautiful relationship, because it's not. Like, don't let yourself wear those like rose tinted glasses. Don't do that. So that's what this is telling me. This, I feel like, is more of an energy, not so much a person. It might be somebody that's enabling you to stay in a relationship, or somebody that's enabling you to make the wrong choices. Just kind of, you can be a deep person, but there's no reason that you have to be deep because you've been traumatized. The Starborn, I feel like the Starborn is the person that we're talking about in this situation, that's going through this situation. Starborn people are people that are just are highly intuitive, highly empathic. They may be like a master number, like 22, lifestyle. So, you have a big impact in this world, and you have a big spiritual impact. So just remember this as you're going through your journey, that a lot of these things that we're going through are lessons, and we have to, in the end, just, crack open this egg and let all the light shine through it, let all the light shine into the castle, so that we can share our own lights inside. And then the comic. I really don't like that the comic is here and Loki is here and this one is here. This means basically a diamond in the rough. So all of that roughness around that diamond is going to go away, which is like the chiseling, right? Back to Ragnarok, it's like the chiseling of this rock coming out. Crazy. So the comic, I don't know, I just feel like in somebody's situation out there, there's a guy that is just joking around, not taking things seriously, lying, tricking you, just get out of it. I don't know who specifically that is, but this is somebody specific, because that's what that feels like. And I don't feel like that has a lot to do with a lot of different people. I feel like it's only for specific people. That's the only one that I'm iffy about. The rest of it I think kind of works, but that one bothers me. Alright. And then these are the last cards for group 1. These are tarot. It's a steampunk tarot. I got the 2 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, and the 7 of Pentacles. So again, this is telling me that this is about 2 people, an ending that isn't what we want. What's kind of an ending in suffering. And then the 7 of Pentacles is basically us looking back at something that we've worked really hard on, and kind of like that being taken away, or that being just, well, I worked on this, now I gotta let it go. So this part, I think, is referring to the relationship. If this situation is relationship for you, it may be those. If not, it just may be the combining of the, like I said, that yin and yang, that balance, that positive and negative energies. Positive and negative energies. Yeah, that too. But I mean, feminine and masculine energies. So that could also be what it is. So the last thing I'm going to read for y'all is the number, the angel message for y'all's number, which is 691. And it says, your commitment to growth is being recognized. This commitment is important because the better you know yourself, the better you will know your angels. See? And I didn't know. I literally just wrote these numbers down. So that was intuitively picked. I'm glad that that message does go across with everything I just said. That's awesome. I love that. Feeling really confident in this reading. I think it even said like something about commitments down here. What is it? Make a commitment. Make a commitment to yourself and your own growth. Let go of everybody else. Make a commitment to you. Alrighty, that's it for group 1. I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to start recording the second one. Hello everybody, it is the, I'm sorry, I've just remembered that I don't have to reintroduce myself. This is part of another video. Okay, anyway, I'm so sorry. This is group 2. These are all upside down. I mean, not all upside down, but I piled these upside down. Okay, so group 2. This is your overall energy for the month, which these are awesome freaking cards, man. Even though that's reversed. So Freya is basically, gosh, that's like a god that's all about, being a warrior, so much standing up for women and women warriors, Vikings, even crossing the line of, love, and also for warriors and fighting, and that's amazing energy right there. And Thorizas, I didn't say that right any of those times. Please ignore me. This is talking about strength. Now, if you know runes, there's several ones for strength. And to me, the way I always thought about it is Thorizas is more of I need to look strong. I need to have like armor around me so that I look strong. There are other runes that I think better portray strength, as in you're strong enough to handle it, better do mental strength, better through emotional strength. This to me is the appearance of strength. So I think what this is saying is you do look strong, but now it's time to work on the inside so that you feel strong. So this is about stepping into your power. Stepping into your power. And that is beautiful. That is amazing. I'm in love with this. So this is what you're going to be doing. Maybe you've lost it. Maybe maybe you just lost that stance, but this is about you stepping back in. Even if it means pretending for a while. This is you going back in. And I love that. So, the next card I got is the Knight of Coins. So, usually the Knight of Coins, this is reversed. Knights are all about... I always think of them more as a guard to that suit. So I feel like in this one, this is a materialistic situation that is kind of being put to a halt. So, like I said, we're looking strong, though that appearance can be in a materialistic sense. So maybe you look like you have everything together, but you don't feel like you have everything together. Maybe you look like you have everything you want, but you don't have everything you want. Maybe you look like you have the job you want. Maybe you look like you have the house you want. Maybe you look like you have the life you want, but you don't. So your inner power is being true to what you want. It's going back from this shadow side, trying to cover it up, to going into this light, beautiful, opened up side. And trying to balance these two, because there can't be light without darkness, and there can't be darkness without light. So it's the balancing of those energies. And I think in the last reading, it was the balancing of, or for group one, it was the balancing of feminine and masculine energy. For you, I think it is finding the balance of your shadow self versus yourself. So ego versus spirit. There's nothing wrong with the ego, guys. Ego does so much for us. Ego is us. And we're put on the planet to be an ego. We're put on the planet to be a human, to be a person. So don't demonize your ego. I know so many people do it right now. Please don't. Now, this is kind of the place where you're at. This is the place that you're at or you're stuck in. And for you, it is the dead end. So you're literally stuck. The dead end is basically saying you've gone this route, you went through this way, and it's just not working for you. And now it's time to turn back. It's either you turn back or you plow through it, right? This is kind of that moment where you decide, are you just going to keep plowing through the dead end, or are you going to turn back and find, your path, the path that works for you? Now, these are some angel messages. I'm just going to I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Focus upon divine and perfect health. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Oh, and this is your life's purpose. All right, so again, you have to step into your power. Sorry. Focus on upon the divine and perfect health. So this is saying take advantage of what you do have control of. Right now you have your health and you have spirit's guidance. Use that, follow that. And while you're following that, make sure you use this as a basis, as a foundation, as a ground to ground yourself upon. And then start asking yourself some really hard questions. Why are you in a dead end? Why are you pretending? Use this and then jump to that. And then this last part is, this is your life's purpose. Stepping into your power is your life's purpose. Whatever your power is, or whatever your gifts are, whatever, you know, you're meant to do, is obviously your life's purpose. So if you're trying to cover it up, you're trying to cover up what makes you uncomfortable, you're trying to cover up things that you don't like, then you're not stepping into your power, and you're not fulfilling your life's purpose, which is sad, because we need your light. Now, these are energies of basically people around you. Oh, maybe I did mean to put these in here. I grabbed group ones, and I found one of these cards. If you don't know the archetype decks, they have, well, here, let me show you. So basically you have different sections. So this is the, they have archetypes of people. Archetypes are basically like how we describe things. So I'm looking for these. Okay, so these are like the initiation. So this is like the, where is it? The initiation of a cycle. Kind of like once we learn these few lessons, it's kind of that thing going over and over again. These are kind of they're almost like the intentions of what we're going through. And then these are the places, and there's also the archetypal self, which is the easiest one I can point out, is the hero. I don't think the hero's in this one. No, the hero is not in this one, and I forgot why. She writes about it, but I don't see it in here at all. Huh. Okay. Well, I really like... Well, anyway, that's not the point. I think she said that she doesn't have the hero in there because it is so basic of a archetype, and it's not as detailed out. Anyway, let's get back to these. All right, the warrior, the shapeshifter, and the orphan. Okay, guys, the warrior, we're going back up there, right? This is all about strength. This is about, I like how we have the snake in all of these. Or, well, these two. That's about stepping into your power. The shapeshifter is what you're doing when you're not stepping in your power, when you're pretending like you like something that you don't, when you're pretending like you like people that you don't, when you're bending over backwards for people when you don't want to be, when you're doing things that you don't want to do. And then the final one over here, I feel like this all has to do with the self. So this has to do with journey. This is very inward. There's nothing about other people in this so far, so don't take it as that. This is a very, very inward journey, very spiritual journey, maybe emotional, maybe traumatic kind of thing. Or not traumatic, but facing your trauma. The orphan. So, the orphan. The orphan could be literally if you feel like you're an orphan or you don't have your parents around. But it could also be your inner child that has been left by you. You feel like you don't belong to anything. You feel like you don't... nobody sees you, or no one appreciates you, nobody, there's just nobody there for you. You don't have that foundation with yourself or with others to grow upon. It's kind of just you're this weed, or you feel like you're this weed that's growing that nobody really wants around. It's also just that sense of unbelonging. You don't belong anywhere. I feel like it really relates to kind of being the black sheep, kind of. But here, the snake, I feel like when we go back to the warrior, you're putting on this disguise of I am the warrior, when really, like, you're not all of this scary looking stuff. You're just this little snake. I feel like this is what this is, and this look is covering up the orphan, this emotion, this feeling, this darkness. And then this one, this is all about questioning everything. So again, we were talking about, you need to, wasn't there something about questioning yourself? Oh, wait, no. Admit, yeah, okay, I was saying it to this one. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. This is all about questioning everything, not necessarily about finding the answers, but questioning everything. And it's important to do that, to know, like, what are your thoughts? What have you been trained to know? What have you been, maybe things that have been passed on to you through your guardian, or things that have passed on to you from school or adults around you when you were younger. This could be something that's happening now, but really think about questioning all of the stuff. And if you question it and it still doesn't bother you, you question it, you find an answer, you question it, you don't find an answer, let what falls around you, let the strongest bonds stay with you, and forget the rest. Don't hold on to anything that's going to make you feel like shit. Don't shame yourself. Don't guilt yourself. Or you can't really guilt yourself, but don't shame yourself. Group 2, your number is 643, and the message that comes with that is, what is coming from within us is right and correct. Angel wisdom is encouraging you to trust the messages that have been rising up inside you. Follow them. So, again, maybe you feel like inside there's something wrong, and you've reached this dead end. You feel dread, you feel anxious, you feel like something's off. That is your signal to make changes. That is the sign to, like, okay, you're right, this is wrong. All of those feelings are coming up. You're right. You are at a dead end. You are stuck. Now it's time to turn back. It's time to get back to your foundation. It's time to get back to your roots. And you have roots. Like, you don't have to think that you don't. You have roots. You have something inside of you. You just have to uncover it. Let it be seen first by everybody, which is hard. But let it be seen. And then from there, just start building, rebuilding. All right, that's it for group 2. Thank you. I'm going to move on to group 3. Guys, I wasn't done. I forgot about these cards. Okay, so the Tower, like I said, you have to rebuild, right? So you have to let everything fall down, tear down. You have to let that illusion tear down so you can rebuild. Right now, this is about uncovering your shadow self. It's about shedding light on what you actually want, what you actually desire. And to do that, you have to look at the ways that you're acting out. It's kind of like a little kid. If a little kid's upset, you have to look at the ways that they're acting out and pay attention to why they're doing it, because likely there's a good reason for it. And then the 8 of Cups. Now, this is walking away. This is hitting that dead end and realizing these aren't for you and walking away from it. It's kind of that sign of enlightenment, of being like, you know what? This ain't it. Because that's part of enlightenment too, not finding the answer, but realizing that this isn't the answer and questioning everything again. There you go. That was the end of the reading. I'm so sorry. I forgot about those. Hello, group 3. Let's see. What are we at? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. These are all upside down. Alrighty. So, Sunstone and Raid Ho both are reversed. Actually, I think that's not true. The next few ones of these are reversed. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring this 9 of Cups up here too with it, because they all go together. The Sunstone and Raid Ho and the 9 of Cups reversed is all about, 1, not having direction, but 2, not finding any joy or richness in life. You just emotionally feel drained. You just feel dried out. You just, it's not good. That has a lot to do with our outlooks on life. It really does. It has to do with our outlook, and you have every right to have a negative opinion or a negative view of where you're at, or negative emotions. but you're the only one that controls your feelings, I guess. And I've had the longest and hardest time with realizing that, because it used to be really triggering to me. But, it's really important to map these things out and figure out, because sometimes things aren't as big of a deal, or they shouldn't affect us as emotionally as they do. A lot of that comes from triggering different traumas from our childhood that we don't really have to worry about anymore. Like, especially right now, I was just thinking about COVID. Everybody's struggling, and some people are ashamed to be struggling, and other people, are always struggling, and they feel like they're even worse off now. And it's like, we're all struggling. There's no reason to be ashamed if the worst happens. Yes, it's gonna suck. Yes, it's gonna be horrible. Yes, you're gonna need help, and yes, it's gonna be bad for you or your life. It could be, I don't know, but don't feel like you are a disappointment. Just realize the situation is what it is and move on. Well, move on, but work on making your situation better, because it's all we can do. It's not like we're getting much help anyway. The next I have is the storm. So the storm is this archetypal place where basically all hell breaks loose. It's kind of just like, this is the final storm. These are the last, cuts. This is the things that's kind of tipping you over the edge. And I got these angel messages. All right. Romance angels are helping you. God is in charge, and write your thoughts and feelings. See what I said? That's what I said. I didn't say to write them, but it has to do with about your thoughts and feelings, how you see things, how you view things. All right. Romance angels are helping you guys. That, I feel like, has to do with the relationship, obviously, but I don't feel like it always has to. But in this situation, I think it does. If you don't see how it fits into your situation, maybe you're, not as into love, or not as into your partner as you used to be, and it's just kind of not really going anywhere. But lately you've been feeling a push to get back out of your comfort zone and connect with other people, or connect with your partner, and you don't really know what to do. Just know that you're being helped. Also know that, if this is a hard situation, if you're having this big change in situation, that it is okay to reach out to your partner or to somebody that you need help from. And I also feel like that's what this could be for, is reaching out for help from your loved ones. God is in charge. This is the storm, right? This is basically saying that this storm is going to wash away everything but what you need. You're on the ark, right? You yourself are on the ark. You're not going to be washed away. You're not going to be hurt. But everything that isn't serving you, everything that you don't want, don't need, is going to be washed away. And by the way, I know it says God on here, but, universe, energy, whatever. And then write about your thoughts and feelings. So writing about your thoughts and feelings, just so you can figure out why you're unsatisfied, why you're unhappy. Yes, I don't know. Let me think of something. Yeah, you missed a payment of rent. Yeah, your electricity got turned off. Yeah, this, yeah, that, whatever it is. That's upsetting. But if there's nothing you can do about it, you have to figure out how to not be angry or not be sad. Or, well, you can be sad, but to not hate yourself over whatever happens. And if it's a relationship, maybe you screwed up. There's different things going on, but you have the choice of whether or not to be upset at yourself of it or to beat yourself up over it. So try to write out everything you're feeling. Maybe somebody else has disappointed you. Try to write down your feelings, get to the root of those feelings so that you know what you should focus on and what you should fix first. Because if a lot of different things are coming down, you have to figure out what's worth fixing and what isn't, especially in a relationship. So I got the Judge as archetypes that are around you right now, the King, the Father. and your initiation is the apocalypse. So this is basically something coming to an end. And the judge, the king, and the father, I feel like the king and the father have to do with kind of the energies that are working with. So maybe I'm reading for a more feminine energy person, and they have these masculine energies around them. It's your time to judge these other people. And judging isn't bad. Judging is just deciding where or what attention needs to be served and figuring out how to do that. Well, actually, it's just figuring out what you see, and then justice is figuring out the follow-up of that. So you have these people in your life, you have this person in your life. Figure out where they stand with you, figure out what you want from them and what they want from you and how that relates, and really connect with that part of yourself. And don't be afraid to be vulnerable, don't be afraid to open up, but also if you judge that person's not worth being vulnerable with or opening up for, that is your decision, but you need to make that decision. It's time. I kind of feel called out with this one. Okay, so the last one, I feel like no. Okay, the last three cards are the King of Swords, Five of Wands, and Two of Swords. So again, this is, there's definitely a masculine energy that is present in your life right now, whether that is a person, a boyfriend, or a partner. There's a masculine person in your life that your Five of Wands is basically something you need to take action on, you need to figure out, and you may feel like you're trying to balance yourself out, trying to weigh your options, and you haven't really gotten figured out yet, and that's okay. You know, it may take a little bit for you to figure out, but it is saying that you eventually are going to have to make a decision. And the reason that you're where you're at right now, if it's bumpy, is because you haven't made a decision, and by that you've neglected kind of part of your life that's fundamental. So now things can be crashing down around you, shattering around you, whatever it is. You just have less of a foundation to sit on. Not saying that it can totally save you from every situation, but it could at least give you a foundation that's strong enough to work off of when things do fall. Now, I did so good with writing these numbers. Group 3, 782. I'm reading this angel message from Kyle Gray's Angel Numbers book. Your current connection or relationship is a valuable experience for you. It's important to take the next step in it now. This will give you a deeper, more visceral experience of love. So basically this is saying go deeper so that you can feel things. You're not as numb. You know, you'll feel the richness of life. You'll feel everything, and you'll have a compass to go off. You'll have a foundation. So I really, really do think this is about a relationship. But if it's not, you know, you can relate it to your life and see where those energies match and connect. Anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this resonated with y'all. Let me know, and let me know how y'all's situations turn out. I mean, I'm kind of curious. And if you're ever interested in a private reading, you can go over to my Instagram, which is at the Undercover Witch, or my TikTok, wherever. Send me a DM, message me, comment on something, and I'll try to get to you. I usually don't do private readings. Right now I charge $35 for a reading, and it's like a reading, like kind of bigger than this, because I go very in depth. They usually last about an hour, or I usually type up like an email or a long spread and send it to you, and I let you ask any questions. So if you are interested in private reading, although I don't really think that's where I'm going with this, I think I'm going to be doing more live readings, so y'all can wait for those. If you are interested in seeing more readings or card pulls daily or weekly, you can go over to my TikTok. I usually pull a oracle or do like a short, like pick a card or pick a pile, and it's like 3 cards or something. You're welcome to go there, my Instagram, that's where I post those. And if you're interested in any spiritual or witchy topics and you're just wanting to learn the most and learn the behind the scenes of this and how this works, go to my podcast on Podbean, or I'm on iTunes, I'm on TuneIn Radio for Alexa, and I'm on Amazon. So you have a lot of places to look. You have a lot of places to go if you have any questions or are interested in any of my content. Thank you so much again, and I hope you'll have a fantastic October. I will be uploading again in a week, hopefully. Fingers crossed.